G'day gang. So the young fella's car's here. His headlights are not coming on. His parker's come on, I think. Pretty sure well, it's recognising parkers. That might be blown, that one. Yeah, that one's alright. And I know the headlight globes are okay because if we we operate flash to pass, we got headlights. So I'm going to pull the airbag off, get in, and I'm going to see if I can clean up the terminals for the headlights. So they come on intermittently. So I'm figuring there's going to be some dirt or some crud. The very worst, they're going to be burnt, the little points inside. So, yeah. Let's get onto it. It's always suggested that you disconnect the, up in there's where you, it's a little security Torx. Hang on, I might need two hands for that. It's quite tight. And generally the little Torx screw that is in there will stay in there. It doesn't want to come out. It's kind of captured in there a little bit. And there you are. I don't know if you can see there, but we'll fish around, we'll find the other fella. Come on. Where are you? I'll be back, hang on. Okay. Yes, preferably you'd pull the battery terminal off and all that sort of stuff. But there's no activation in the bag. I'm fairly certain of that if the ignition's not turned on, because there'll be no activating of the airbag failure light once we pull the airbag out of it. So once we've got him all loosened up, we'll just pick out of there, like that. And there's our dreaded airbag wire, right there. So down in here, you see this little yellow tag. If we pick him up, like that.
That light, the sun is horrible.
If this goes bang, don't drop the camera. Okay, mate?
No worries.
And she's out. She's disarmed. We'll get rid of the earth wire here. And we can pop that somewhere else. Put down the floor if you like, mate. There.
Yeah, that's.
And there's, yeah, it is pretty bright. That's the clock spring that everybody's concerned about. That if it fails, your airbag light comes on as a failure, and your horn generally won't work at the same time. And if you've got controls on your steering wheel, none of those will work. You know, radio controls and all that sort of shit for volumes and stuff. So none of that'll work. That's where I was saying these bolts are captive in there. They just stay in there. They won't come out, which is a good thing. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to unfeed the wires here, and I'm going to undo that nut there, pull the steering wheel off. So this is 19mm. Yours will be something different. Most of the time you leave it, we haven't got any keys in the car, and I'm going to undo this. But if you have to rely on the steering lock, don't worry about that. That's not a problem. You can let that come on, and your steering wheel won't go anywhere. But I like to get it centralised so that it's in the straight ahead position like that. Before you take that nut right off, you get yourself a good grip and give her a couple of sidewayses, and she's up. Those holes are there for a puller. that you can just put on there and you can tighten it up. It'll pull that off, but the time it takes you to get that happening. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get a marking pen, and I'm just going to mark here so that if for some unknown reason something gets moved, we'll still be able to line the steering wheel up without a problem. So now we're up to where the clock spring's in our right now view here. When these are new, they have a mechanism that stops them from turning. It's quite important you don't let these turn whilst the steering wheel's off, because the little ribbon that's inside there is quite possible it'll overwind and break, and then you've got to do a clock spring replacement. That's just something you don't need to do. So you've got to be careful when you do that bit. On all the cars with airbags, I'll just take all these screws out. Where are you, bugger? I'll come back when I've got this cover off. So, depending on what your vehicle is, you might need to pull this whole mechanism out. This might be a combination switch where this is all incorporated in one. The clock spring will come out drift, but this one it looks like I can pull the switch itself out by depressing a little tab here and pushing it out of the frame. So I'll do that quietly off the camera, and then we'll come back. So there we go. And off she comes. So I've got a plug here at the bottom, like that. And there it comes. It comes off like that. So in amongst all this stuff, we're going to have to split all this apart and see what we can see in here, and find out where our contacts are for that. If we're lucky they won't be too far away. And so I've got this cover off, just easy flick it off. And there's our points in here. And we should be able to see them move up and down there, see them? That's Parker, that's the headlight. So that one there I'm suggesting it's got a problem. See how much lower it is? Well, that one there, see that middle one there? I'm sure that's supposed to do something. But that looks a little burnt, so, oh yeah, it even looks a bit dark on this corner. I'm going to get this off and let's have a look what we've got behind it. Well, we're up the shit creek because the actual contact underneath is burnt away and there's barely a contact there, so I've just had to bend that down for the minute. We're going to have to source one of these when the places are open. It's Sunday afternoon, so we're kind of stuck. But I'll put it back together, we'll put it in, I know that it's going to work, so I guess it's going to get us out of the trouble in the, long and short of it, but, well, not the long of it, but the short of it. So yeah, I'll put that back together and we'll see if the headlights work, eh? Wake your key in, mate, and just turn the ignition on. Let's look for your airbag light. Where's your airbag light? We'll start up, I suppose. All them other ones will go out. No, that's all good. What about you turn your headlights on? Put your high beam on. Yeah, your light comes on. Turn it back. Turn him on. High beam. Off. They're working. Happy days, at least you'll be able to see in the morning, eh?
Yeah, that's it.
Cheers, mate.
Get to work.
There you go. Have a good one. Cheers. Check you later.